Yes, hello, hello. Briefly, I want to speak about Khabib Nurmagomedov. As we recently seen, he announced his retirement after his title defense against Justin Gaethje, who submitted, and um, he retires with a unbeaten record, 29-0, 29 wins, 0 defeats, and he's had a solid career, a great career. He's arguably the greatest ever lightweight. Actually, not even arguably, you could say that he's the greatest ever lightweight. You could say that. Um, and he's been just dominating his opponents, whether it's Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier, Gaethje, um, Rafael dos Anjos, Edson Barbosa. Great talented fighters that he's put on his resume. He's for me, he may be the greatest Russian fighter of all time. Certainly. In fact, he is. He is the greatest Russian fighter of all time. It's not Fedor Emelianenko, who would you respect? And so I just feel that clearly the death of his father, his longtime coach, his father passed away in June during the summer in June, and clearly that has had an effect on him, where he doesn't have that passion anymore because his father was very essential in his life growing up as a child, training, wrestling with a bear even, um, and then putting through Samba school, and then into MMA. His father has been his number one coach, and then throughout all his life in his career, and so him passing away, certainly, pretty much it's clear that that's the main reason why he's retiring, and I can understand that, and that's fair. He's done enough to be seen as the GOAT. I think so anyway. And now he's just put his gloves down and said that's it. And um in terms of his American support system, w- in in other words, the American coach that he's had during his time in the UFC, Javier Mendez is one of the best trainers within MMA, and clearly Khabib has a good relationship with him. They've worked well together as well to mainly improve on his striking, which he's shown in his latter fights against Conor and and other fighters like Barbosa and Poirier. Um, yeah, I mean Khabib certainly he certainly has earned his respect from coaches, teammates, fellow fighters, opponents, etc. And you can't knock him. Certainly, you can't knock him for retiring. He's done enough in his career to be seen as the GOAT, seen as the pound for pound. And obviously, John Jones would have something to say about that. His fans will as well, and so which is understandable. But as of right now, I think Khabib deserves his moment and respect. That's what I will say. And like I mentioned before, he was he grew up training in the martial art of samurai wrestling, which is massive in Russia. Some of the greatest Russian fighters have come through in MMA. Usually that's the main martial art that they do. Samurai wrestling. Fedor Emelianenko did that. Um, Another great Russian fighters And so Khabib clearly, I mean, certainly the greatest summer wrestling fighter to ever compete in mixed martial arts, certainly. And you have to give him his just due. I respect him highly as a fan of MMA. You have to appreciate what you have. And there was a period, there was certainly a period in time where Khabib was a bit underappreciated during his fighting career. And that was, part of that was because for a period of time, he was very injury prone. Like he kept having to pull out of fights due to certain injuries that he would unfortunately have or pick up. And then you just pull out of fights. And I think that probably was the main obstacle in his career, just in terms of whether he can actually make it through a camp without being injured. That was an ongoing problem, I remember, between 2014 and 2016, those 2 years, I believe, or just 2014, 2015, 1 year. But there was a certain feeling that this guy, as talented as he was, the injuries are going to derail his career. But thankfully, thankful to the heavens, that hasn't been the case. He's shown that he is one of the greatest ever to compete within the mixed martial arts, within the UFC promotion. And Dana White gives him his just due, gives him his respect. And so, as we all should as fans, and it'll be interesting to see him fight GSP, because that was the long awaited. That's pretty much the golden fight that every MMA fan was hoping for. That GSP will make a return, and eventually the stars were aligned for that fight to happen with Khabib. But yeah, Khabib's had enough, because obviously, unfortunately his father passed away from heart surgery, and yeah, it's just unfortunate. But when I say unfortunate, what I mean is obviously you don't want to lose a parent like that. And I think now I think he's doing the right thing for himself and his family, just stepping away now. And I hope he has a good, satisfactory, satisfying life in post-retirement, being a good with his family, his siblings, his kids, his spouse. Hope he takes care. God bless him. He's earned it. He deserves it. He deserves it. And that's all I have to say. And do I personally believe he's the GOAT? You can certainly make the case for him being the GOAT. I mean, number one, he's undefeated, and he has defeated great fighters. He has managed to utilize his skills as a wrestler, and while improving on his striking. So he does deserve respect there. Beating Gaethje, beating Barbosa, beating Poirier, beating Conor McGregor. It's a good list of names, and there's more as well. Micah Johnson as well. Rafael dos Anjos, great fighters that he's beaten. So certainly you can make the case that he's the greatest fighter of all time. Others will probably disagree, but yeah, It's down to opinion, I guess. So take care. That's all I have to say. And yet again, congrats to Khabib Nurmagomedov. Take care. He deserves it, and God bless.